Welcome to It's Possible podcast. This is where we help people save money to plan their retirement. And we bring excellent people on the show so that they can tell you what they do and how they support the community. Today I have with me the Heart Lady. Miss Heart Lady, please take a minute and introduce yourself and tell the people what you have for them today.
Thank you so much for the invitation. It's possible.
It's possible.
Yes. So my name is Dr. Sharon Reed, and I work with clients who have emotional and relationship challenges, and I help turn those conflicts into meaningful conversations and also their purpose in life, and so that they take those lessons.
All right, so let's kick that off. You say relationship and emotional healing.
Yeah.
Oof, relationship, emotional healing. Yeah. That's like, these are big words.
But maybe not so much big words, but they are big issues in people's lives. And relationship starts with yourself first.
Yes.
And so if you're not comfortable with yourself, then you also are going to project that into your relationships.
So that's what I wanted to understand. So when we say relationship, is it relationship between couples or relationship, any type of relationship?
Well, relationships are, you can have relationship with money.
Yes.
Right? You have relationships with business. You have a relationship with your coworkers. You have relationships with your parents. You have relationships with your loved one, with your spouses. So yeah, it encompasses all.
All right. But who do you work with especially?
Especially I work with couples and individuals who are having a hard time relationships with themselves. This is how the emotional healing part comes into play.
So relationship with themselves.
Yes.
Cool.
Well, any couples that I have, we always start with relationships with themselves. So you have to be able to understand what's going on within you. What are the emotional wounds that you have carried on throughout other past relationships and in any area. So it's real important that we understand the values, who we are, and the trauma that we may have brought in that we did not resolve, either from past relationships or from childhood.
Okay.
And so we project that on, even the relationship of how we deal with money. That is also passed on. How we deal with business, that is also passed on. How we handle the stress, that all has to do with relationships. Because a lot of people have poor relationships with money. If you have poor relationships with money, then your business may not be so well. Right? So it's all about learning coping skills and how to handle your personal stress, how to handle your anger when you're angry, how to have meaningful conversations, how to handle conflict. And so that's, in a nutshell, all about relationships.
All right, so I've never seen it like that. Right? We help people here at It's Possible. We help people with finances, plan retirements, life insurance, things like that. We help people plan, create a budget for themselves.
Yeah.
But I've never thought about relationship with money.
Yeah.
So talk to me a little bit about relationship with money. Like, where do you find this terminology?
So if we don't have a good relationship with money, meaning how do we handle our money? How do we budget our money? What are our beliefs that we have associated with money and with business? That is all part of how the limiting beliefs, or how they were brought up, how they were taught how to handle money. It goes back to those, money is the root of all evil.
Yes.
If they've always believed that, then the way they handle money in their personal finances and in business is going to reflect that. If they were feeling, so there's many cliches around money. What are some of the ones that you've heard about money?
Well, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God.
And which is not true. Because it's all about how you handle. Because if you want to say, quote unquote, evil people or bad people, if you want to say it like that, or people who don't live up to integrity and better characteristics, a lot of them have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right? But it's the relationship and how they are dealing with money what makes them have more money. And it is those who feel like, I don't deserve money. I shouldn't be rich. If I'm rich, rich people are bad. And so I don't want to be rich because rich people are bad, and I want to be a good person. I want to be, Christians and so forth should be very humble.
Yeah.
And then again, maybe I don't deserve it.
Wow. So it's a belief. And I believe it's a misuse of words, because humility does not mean being small. Mm-hmm. Right? Humility is, to me, it means that you are big and you reach down to smaller ones. This is when you're humble. God is humble. He's not a small God. So we're not going there. Okay.
and that's okay. I understand where you're going, but a lot of people do feel as though humble is being small.
Yeah.
And a lot of that doesn't necessarily always have to do with the belief, but it could deal with how they feel within themselves.
Okay.
And then, I realized this, we're taping this during February, which is known as Black History Month, and of course known as the Heart Month, of course. And so I want to really let people understand that is intergenerational trauma. These things have been indoctrinated in us unconsciously. And so it's how we feel about being rich or being wealthy, how to handle it, how our parents have handled wealth, how their parents have handled money, what they thought about saving, how hard you have to work. You have to work hard in order to make money.
Man.
And then if you're not making money, then you're lazy. So it's can be very complicated.
Now, if you're not working, you're lazy. So that means you got to be working hard to make the money. Even though you have money, you need to show the world that you're working really hard so that you don't look like a lazy. I mean,
yes, right. And do you necessarily have to work very, very hard to make money? There's a lot of people who don't work that hard to make money. So it's all the concept, the preconceived notions that you've had, and the belief systems that you carry through in making money, in making business, working and creating that relationship. So we also know that couples, whether married or not, have big arguments, break up and or divorce because of how they feel about money, finances, how they will handle finances.
That's true.
And so why would that be the number one issue for people, married couples, to divorce?
So, no, I've seen that, because as I am in this business where I sit down with many people. People who make millions. Right? So, but the relationship they have with money, you see how they blow like 5 million. In just a couple years, it's gone.
That's right.
That's crazy.
Even though they may be educated on it, it's still, it also is the value that they may place on it, right?
That's true, yeah.
And so there's a lot of variables on the relationship that you have with money. So when you were speaking with your clients, is also even how they even think about insurance and what that means. Because there are some people who says, I'm living for today. I'm not leaving any money for anyone else. And why should I be insured for when I die? I'm living life now. So it all has to do with that thought and that feeling, and really trying to get to say, well, how has your family handled money? What is your relationship with money? What does that mean? How do you save? How much do you spend? Do you spend without thinking about? Do you have a budget? All of that goes.
All of these things, man. I hope you could be here at the office to help me with all of these things, man. Because I never thought about relationship with money, but as I'm thinking about it right now, it seems to me that most of the people that I sit down with, they have not curated their relationship with money, or they have not thought about if they even have a relationship with money. So, okay.
And even how their parents handled money. And what did they teach them about money?
It's passed on.
That's exactly right.
You as the heart lady, why do you call yourself, or why do they call you the heart lady?
Well, thank you for asking. Actually, it was clients who said, "Oh, we just say the heart lady." And then I had one client in particular. She said, "You know, we call you the heart lady," and I was like, "Really?" And then she said, "You should definitely brand that because that's how people remember you by, you know." And it's because I deal with all things around the heart. That's my specialty.
Okay.
So I have a program called Heart, HEART, and the H stands for taking care of your health holistically. I am a licensed medical professional, and so when I see my clients, it's 3-tier. What goes on physically? What's going on emotionally, and then the spiritual aspect is how we work towards handling it. So whether the spiritual component could be a prayer, it could be affirmations, it could be breath work, it could be yoga, it could be many different aspects that you I would say collaborate with your emotional heart and your physical heart. So I like to see what's going on physically because maybe there are some hormone disruptions. Maybe we have to figure out, do you have a high blood pressure? Do you have high blood sugar and those things? Because when you're working emotionally, it could impact that.
Okay.
So I really want to, I don't want to talk about something very, heart-wrenching for someone and they already have a very high blood pressure.
I understand.
We're going to bring it up.
Okay.
We're going to be talking about high levels of stress for some people, you know, so we go, and then also with the physical heart, I teach CPR, so it's all encompassing.
All right, so let me go back to you are a licensed.
I'm a licensed professional, right? But turned coach because I like the coaching aspect is shared decision making. In the medical field is like, this is what you need to do. In the coaching field is guiding the person. What do you think is best that can help you to move forward? And then we guide and support you in that direction. Because we find that if we tell you what to do, most people find some resistance or they don't know how to do it. I could tell you, you need to reduce your blood pressure. How do I do that?
I don't know.
So that's what the coach will do. So even if they come to me with their conflicts in their relationships, their intimate relationships, I could tell you, well, you need to stop arguing. What does that do for you? How do I stop arguing?
Yeah.
So this is what I love about the coaching and the health and wellness field. And this is what I love about why we work holistically and use alternative, complementary alternatives to working with the medical field. So I get a lot of doctors who will refer their patients to me to work with anxiety, to work with stress, to work with grief, to work with symptoms of depression and so forth. And some of them are finances because I don't have a job or I can't make the money work or stretch. And then we have to be able to figure out where did that come from, and reestablish that relationship, and then give the resources that can help take them to the next level.
Okay. So I'm trying to understand exactly like what triggers someone to say, now is the time for me to see the heart lady.
Well, other than referrals, it's because they've tried everything else.
Okay.
And then they're looking for a different way to figure it out. They may not want to go to a traditional psychiatrist or psychologist because a lot of them don't want to be put on medications. Some of them may need to. And I will refer and I let them know up front. But a lot of them, they just need someone to help guide and support them in ways that can help them to have a healthier lifestyle. And so some of them may come to me as a last resort, which I'd rather not, right? But I recently had a couple. It was so refreshing. A couple came to me for couples counseling before they were to get married. And so they were able to establish what are their values, what are their personal values, what are their relationship values, how do they handle conflict, what makes them happy, what actions do they take when they are upset, how to apologize, how does one accept apology. all of that goes into play. So they were able to really get deep down and understand who they are and what they bring to the table. Like one person said to me, she said to me, well, or really she said to her husband to be, I think that you don't care when you go out of town and don't tell me to the last minute. And he's looking at her and saying, what do you mean I don't care? Of course I care about you. But I'm saying that's how she feels. And so let's understand, why do you feel that way? So then I'll go back and say, when else did you feel that way? And then she'll say why. And so it wasn't the fact that she knows that he doesn't care, but it brought her back to a feeling of, oh, people have done that to me before and made me feel insignificant. So we break down the layers, and that a lot of times is the wonderful thing about coaching, because we can give personal testimony. We can bring that in, and we can bring in a lot of other things that a psychiatrist or a psychologist will not bring in. We are seeing that psychotherapists and psychologists are now turning to life coaching because they see that they can reach the person in different levels.
Okay. So, as a coach, how long does it take for you to work with someone and then for them to start seeing some results?
Well, my aim is that by the time they leave my office on the first visit, they will get some results. And it also, of course, it depends on what's going on with the person and how much work they do. Because I give homework. You come with your journal and you get homework so that you can scale how far, where you were and where you are now. So I give homework so that they can do the work also by themselves, so they're not depending on me. So those who do the work get the results, period.
Gotcha.
So for couples, I like to start off with 6 visits. That's 3 together and 3 apart.
Okay.
So you come together, then when I see you individually, you come together, I see you individually.
Okay.
So that you can work on yourself, because remember I said relationship for yourself first. There may be some things that you need to do. Like I said, the person can't make you happy. You have to be able to find the happiness within yourself, and then your partner can complement, and they can complement the happiness. They can contribute to the happiness, but you need to be able to find the being happy, is because it's a state of mind. So you have to find the being happy for yourself, and then other people can complement that.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand the relationship with yourself.
Okay.
Because I am one person, because relationship would be created between 2 people.
Really?
So how do I have a relationship with myself?
So let me break it down, because a relationship with yourself is about your self-esteem. It's about your self-talk. It's about how you feel about yourself. You have a relationship with God.
Okay.
That's within yourself. So all of that is about, okay, if I don't feel good about myself, and if I'm always giving myself negative thoughts, then you don't have a good relationship with yourself. And that ends up projecting on your partner or on other people. If you, so say for instance, if you're unhappy today for whatever made you unhappy, and you go to work and you're in this like slump, that is projected. Whose fault is that? That's the relationship that you had for yourself.
That's okay. So, so we talk about self-talk. When you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
You can talk to yourself.
You do talk to yourself.
That means you have a relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, that makes sense.
Because and then you get to choose how you want to feel.
Yeah. Okay.
And so if you keep on saying that, let me give an example. So I have this client who is very self-conscious about dancing. And so when she was little, she used to dance with her sister, and everybody used to say how well the sister danced.
Okay.
So she didn't feel as though she danced that well. So even well into her adulthood, she didn't dance much. She told herself, I can't dance, because she was listening to other people. I don't dance that well. So she would dance off rhythm. And so it was that self-talk. until she realized, you know what, I can dance.
Okay.
You know what? She found a dance that she was really good at, and she knew she was good at, and so that helped build back her self-esteem.
Okay.
She realized that she can dance, and now she doesn't have a problem. Now, that might sound very simple, really,
Yeah.
but it is true. If you call yourself stupid, oh, let me give you another example, very common example. And you'll like it because it has to do with business,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, I don't know math. I don't like math. I hate math. I don't do math well.
Yeah.
Right? You've heard that, right?
Yes.
I don't like math. I don't like numbers. So if they don't like math and they don't like numbers, and they've said, all my life in school, I did bad in math. Guess what? How well do you think you're going to handle money? Because it's numbers.
That's right. Yeah.
You see, so all of this plays into just the relationship, how you talk to yourself, how you talk yourself into things, how you talk yourself out of things. All the crave now is about affirmations, right?
Yeah.
So you can say affirmations to your blue, but if you don't really believe it,
okay,
it's not going to come true. Affirmations is not just about saying something over and over. It's about using your whole senses. It's about how do you see yourself with that affirmation? Okay, so if we give me an affirmation about money.
I have all the money that I need.
If you don't believe that you have all the money, but you're just saying that,
Yeah.
do you?
Yeah, so you got to believe that.
You got to believe it. Not only believe it, you got to feel it.
Yeah.
You have to feel confident about it. And you have to walk in it. You can't believe that you have everything you need, but walking without.
Okay. But if you don't really have the money and you say you have all the money that you need, isn't it you lying to yourself?
Well, are you?
I'm just asking.
Are you? I mean, so it is, and it also is the concept of what you're thinking of as money too, because money is an energy.
Okay.
Right? And so if you say, I have money, and then spend like you have money, it comes. If you say you have money, but are pinching and really saying, oh, well, I can't afford that. You say you have all the money, and then something comes, I can't afford that. Instead of saying, how can I afford that because I have money? Is that a priority for me now?
Okay.
So it's all of how you perceive it. So if you say that I have money, but then you're penny pinching everything, then you don't have money.
And you're really thinking that you don't have it.
You don't have it.
Because, that's powerful. Because I heard people say, man, just say it, speak it, and then it's going to happen. But people speak things and they don't happen.
So isn't it works? Don't you have to work towards it? Right?
Yeah.
So if you say that you have money, you're always going to make sure that you attain it, that you're doing something so you really have the money. Right? And so sometimes it's also the wording, right? You may not have it now. So I'll say, well, the money is in circulation, or I didn't budget for it, or it's not a priority now. I'm not saying I don't want to have it and I can't afford it. I'm saying is that it's not a priority, because guess what? If you really want it, you'll find the money.
You'll find it.
Right?
That's true.
So instead of saying I don't have it, say you can change the terminology that your body really believes it.
Okay. All right. Man, this is a master class. So the heart lady, let me go back to this. Okay. Emotional health. Emotional, I'm trying to make sense of these two words together.
Yeah.
Emotional health.
Emotional stability.
Is there anyone that's emotionally sick?
Of course, people.
How can you be sick emotionally?
If you have not taken care of how you handle your emotions, there's emotions and there's feelings. And then there's emotional trauma that we've brought through our DNA. Okay?
Okay.
And so from people who have been in war, people who have been enslaved, people who have experienced addiction, people who have experienced abuse. Those are emotional wounds if they have not gone through the healing. And so therefore you become unhealthy because you have not resolved the feeling of abandonment. You have not resolved the feeling of anxiety. You have not resolved these issues, so that makes you emotionally unhealthy.
Okay.
And so we have to heal those wounds. People think that they forgive because we say a lot of times, oh, I forgive you, with our mouths, with our head, but we did not say, I forgive you, or go through the process of forgiveness through our heart. Because if you say that you forgive someone and then when you think about the incident, you get angry all over again, you truly have not forgiven.
Okay.
So it's the emotional health is really stability. How do you handle conflict? You know, are you learning about emotional intelligence? And so all of those things, people may call it mental health, but mental is really how you think about things. But the emotional is how you handle yourself under pressure, how you handle those feelings. Are you reactive or are you responsive?
Okay. Emotional health.
Yeah.
So people can be emotionally unstable. That's true.
Right? Because people just fly off the anger.
Yeah.
Right? Just be angry and don't know how to handle the anger.
Yeah.
Right? So that's you have not been able to control your emotions, to be able to process them, to be able to think first, to be able to shift from being angry to being thoughtful, mindful, considerate, right? And this is how a lot of abuse happens,
so
right?
you have a lot of unhealthy people
Oh, yeah.
walking around, and that's, man,
How do you think that people get addicted to drugs and even to money, addicted to sex and all of those things? Because of something emotional happened, and they're using these outside sources to try and take care of that void that they have. But, you know, healing is not outside, it's inside. It's within yourself. The healing begins. So that's why I say having a good relationship with yourself.
Okay. So in the heart, we also have actions. So
the actions is, what are you going to do about it? So you recognize that, you know, you and your spouse are not getting along together, and you've been arguing, or maybe you have a health condition that, you know, you really haven't done anything about it. You know you have it, but you're saying, oh, yeah, I got high blood pressure. Oh, yeah, I got high. And you're saying that, maybe you're taking medications, but are you really actively acknowledging that this is what I have? It can be reversed. What actions am I going to take? In my office with my clients, it's the small actions. What is one step that you could do today? And so you asked, how long does it take? Each session, when I have with my clients, I ask them, what's your takeaway? What did you learn today? What is one thing that you can implement today? How did you think when you came in? How do you think about it now? So those are just small actions.
Okay.
Acknowledging, being able to accept, this is what happened to me, and this is the steps I'm going to take to get out of that for better results. Okay.
So for everybody to understand is that I'm going through the program. You know, you see, the Heart Lady is an acronym. So we talk about the H, we talked about the E. And then we talked about the A, action, and then the R,
which we have been talking about, which stands for relationships, reconciling that with yourself and with others. Now, I don't want people to think that when they come to me and they have a disruption or a disconnection in their relationship, that I'm the one who's going to make sure that everything is all right. Because not everyone is meant to be together in their time. And so what I do is help them learn the lessons that they've gotten from being together, and the lessons that they need to implement for themselves and to look out for as they move forward to another relationship. So it may just turn in, well, you know what? Looks like y'all are not wanting to live together, or that you're there's not an alignment that makes it want to go further. So if you have children, how can you co-parent? If you work together, how can you work together without bringing that, nastiness into the relationship? And so it's about finding that self-respect and the boundaries. This is a big thing, boundaries, knowing your boundaries and knowing how to implement those are all part of the R in the relationship.
Relationships. Okay. Yeah. The T is trauma.
T is trauma. And as I said, I kind of touched on it a little bit. We have personal trauma and we have intergenerational trauma.
Okay.
And so the intergenerational trauma is or generational trauma or breaking up family patterns, or some people call it the curse. I got a family curse. And so it's about recognizing, number one, that there is a pattern. You know what? Everyone in my family, most of the people in my family have not graduated from high school, or have not gone further than not been to college. Yeah. Or, people in my family have always been poor. No one really has made any money.
I heard that too.
Right? And, or, this, she had my grandmother had my mother at 16. I had my daughter at 16. Now my daughter is having a baby at 14, at 17. These are things that have patterns in the family.
Yeah.
So just learning and recognizing, this is the family pattern. And now, if you recognize it, I say you're chosen to be the one to break the cycle.
To break it, yes. This is really powerful. Yeah. So break the pattern. I've heard of all of these things, and this is powerful. So why did you choose to do that?
Well, I like to say that it chose me.
Okay.
As it came out of working in the hospital and seeing that it was very regimented, doing this, do that, and not really understand the why we're doing this.
Okay.
And then it goes even more than the why. So if now I know why I'm doing this, then how do I change? How do I become my own change agent, right? And when I recognize that if I would just take the time to talk to the individual, that they would begin to question themselves and begin to make the changes for themselves. Okay. And all the person needs is the extra support and the extra tools that you may have to give them to help them get the results they want. And it could be anywhere from I'm a hypnotist as well, or a hypnotherapist. So I teach people to go deep into their subconscious so that they can make the change they want. So again, that's relationship with yourself. Okay.
Isn't this thing that I have seen on TV where they put a hand on somebody and they go to sleep right away?
No. That a lot of that is staged. And when you're doing hypnosis on someone, so what I do, I teach self-hypnosis first. Okay. So I teach the person how to hypnotize themselves so that it breaks a lot of the myths. And people have this preconception of what hypnosis is. I'm going to control your mind and all of this. And that's because of stage hypnosis. But the fact is that we are hypnotized daily. You ever been tired and drove home and you was like, man, I didn't even know how I got here?
Yeah.
Hypnotized. Have you ever been in a position where you're just reading and someone calls your name, or watch a movie and you begin to cry or feel scared or whatever that is? That's all part of talking to your subconscious self. And so with hypnotherapy, it is what really is teaching the person to be focused, is giving keen, focused attention to what you want. I'm sure you like sports.
I do, yes.
All right. So do you know that in sports, coaches do that with their
the teams
with their teams.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? You think about someone like playing basketball, they teach them to focus on the goal, see the ball go inside.
Okay.
The goal.
That's imagination.
Yes, that's what it is. So you're imagining it, but you're even taking it a little further. You are putting yourself there. You actually are seeing yourself, feeling yourself actually doing it. And so we use hypnosis to stop smoking. We use hypnosis for losing weight. We use hypnosis for decreasing stress. We use hypnosis for anxiety, a whole slew of things. And there have been many famous people who use hypnosis. Actors use hypnosis in order to help them get into a role or help them to get out of a role.
Well,
Michael Jackson used hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
Princess Diane used I mean, there are so many famous
but
people.
the thing is, I don't know. It seems like I heard this word the first time from the wrong person. I don't know.
Okay.
Because I was afraid of this word.
Hypnosis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because every time someone says that, I believe they're going to put you to sleep, and then you don't know what's going on.
You always know what's going on. If I said, okay, and maybe not you, because you might be a millionaire, but if I say, give me $1 million right now, do you really think you're going to give me $1 million right now?
Not right now.
There you go. So you have the control. And when I put people through hypnosis, they're talking. They're not sleeping.
Okay.
They're talking. And I give them the suggestions that they've already told me during the pre-interview.
Okay.
So, how do you want to feel? I want to feel peace. Well, what does peace feel like to you? What does it smell like? What does it look like? What does it sound like? And those words that they give me is what I reiterate to them.
But are they in certain type of mental state?
Very relaxed.
Okay.
Very relaxed. We try to get you into a state. You ever been when you're just kind of waking up, but you're half awake, and and you try to move, but you really can't move, and so it's that state that we put you in, so that where your subconscious is really listening to you and taking the action from that. So that also could be the H in my heart program, HEART.
H, okay. Yeah, so I heard like this word was like, man, I don't want to know anything about it, because that's how I felt.
Yeah.
But now you explain it. So you don't it's not some type of thing that you do on the person.
No.
And then they lose consciousness.
No. They don't lose consciousness. You remain conscious. If you lose consciousness, then I can't tell your mind anything. So it's teaching them to be focused. So if I tell you to look at that mark on there and tell you to look at it and tell you, get relaxed and really relax your body.
Okay.
And then I start to tell you the things that you want to hear. The things that not I want to tell you, but the things that you told me that you want me to feed your subconsciousness. And we do that until it becomes automatic for you to do it.
Wow. So that means it goes directly to the person's subconscious mind.
Yeah. Think about when someone is running track, any sport. If you see yourself at the finish line and you see yourself number one, you accelerate to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. In other words, you say that I was afraid of is yoga.
Yoga?
Yes.
Really?
Because I don't know. I heard this. What I understood about yoga is sitting down and you cross your legs, and then you're saying a prayer, and then you just fly into heaven or something like that.
Ah, interesting. Yoga is another very powerful exercise to help heal, to slow down your heart rate, to help you to concentrate and be aware of what's happening within your body and what's happening in your environment. It's also a good way to release stress and trauma as well. So sometimes I do incorporate that depending on where the person is.
So isn't it a religion?
Yoga?
Yeah.
It's exercise.
Exercise.
It's all about exercise.
Where did I learn? Where did I learn?
But what's happening is that you're showing the limiting beliefs, and that I really appreciate of that, because I get to help you get a greater understanding of what these limiting beliefs are, and it helps to give a different perception. And that's holistic, helping you to really understand, overstand the things that are happening within you and making you find your own truth. Because I could tell you to lift your hands up right here, take a deep breath, and then bring it down, bring it down, bring it down. And you will feel relaxed.
Okay.
And this could be...
I kind of feel relaxed as you're saying that.
Yeah. I mean, if you do it, if you try it, you'd be like, oh, wow, this is just a shift in your energy.
Yeah, okay.
So people in cults may do yoga, but that doesn't mean that yoga is a cult, right? And again, it's about learning how to balance and shift the energies within your body. It's a real good healing mechanism, just like Qigong and Tai Chi and martial arts. All of those things create a discipline within yourself. And so you may be afraid to meditate, because people say that about meditation as well.
Well, I've seen some meditations to say, okay, so you have to meditate. But I found meditation in the Bible too.
Exactly. And what is that to you?
As meditate is thinking about the things and ponder on it, and that's what I think.
It's a focused attention, right?
Yes.
And it also is where you're now slowing down physically. You're slowing down your heart rate so that you can be more focused and be able to cipher out and get the results that you want. Right? And so you can walk and meditate. Walking can be a sense of meditation. It's awareness. Okay. And that's what the meditation is, brings a sense of presence and feeling where you are right now. So you can dance and be in a meditation. You can pray and it's meditation. Okay. You really can't stop the mind, but you can slow down and go back to breath so that you can stay focused. So it's another self-discipline.
I don't know. It seems like the first time I learned about these things, it was from the wrong person. I'm not sure. Because meditation also was a word that said, man, when you're meditating, it's like you're calling some type of spirit or things like that. Is that true?
Well, if you want to call on a spirit, you can. You call on it, but then you don't have to. Remember, you said it was focusing on something that you wanted to get a result with. So if you're really, it's the intention that you're putting forth. That's always the key. What is my intention? And so you set forth an intention. My intention is to relax, to find balance within myself, to be able to figure out how can I make more money. Okay. Right? And so you may go into a meditation just around that, and you'd be surprised. And then, the answers come, because it really is just talking not only to yourself, but talking to your higher self, which some people may call God.
That's powerful. That's amazing. This is a master class. Hey, you guys, pay for this, okay?
Come see the heart lady. And let's work it out. Let's make a head and heart connection.
Yeah, so the heart lady. So you used to work at a hospital?
I used to work at a hospital. I'm doing coaching, my last profession was working as a respiratory therapist. Okay. And so one of the things that really helped me to say that, you know what, I'm not going to be doing this. I was going to a patient's room. I was working in the pediatric ward at that time, and I went in and I saw this 8-year-old with all this mucus down, and they were breathing hard, and you could hear them wheezing almost outside the door. And I was waiting outside the door for the pulmonologist, the lung doctor, to come on out so that I could give the patient a breathing treatment. And so when I went to give the patient the breathing treatment, I looked, and they were eating double cheese pizza with all the mucus running down.
Wow.
I mean, the mucus was so thick that we had to use a heating unit in order to decrease the viscosity of the mucus. And so when I went to the oxygen on the wall, I said to myself, now how am I going to tell these parents that this child should not be eating double cheese pizza? Not one slice, but two.
Wow.
And so I was like, okay, please give me the words. And so I turned around and I said to the parents, if that was my son in that condition, I probably wouldn't be giving him double cheese pizza at this time. And the mother said, well, the doctor was just in here and he didn't say anything. I was like, oh, because, that's my job. So he probably was waiting for me to educate you a little bit on that. And she said, well, he's hungry. And I said, okay. And then the father said, so if that was your child, what would you give? And I said, I'd probably give something lighter. Maybe, on the menu there's some mashed potatoes there's some green peas, and maybe if you want to put a little gravy on it. And they said, oh. I said, I gave the child the treatment, and I left the room. About an hour later, I was going into another room, and the mother saw me, and she said, come. So I came in the room, and he was eating the mashed potatoes, gravy, and the green peas. And I said, oh. And she said, and he's breathing so much better.
Oh, wow.
And so at that point, I was like, people need to understand why and how what they eat is so important to health as well, especially when they're going through those challenges of breathing and understanding. So even when I'm teaching CPR, I teach what are the signs and symptoms, but I also teach about blood pressure. What does the top number really mean? What does the bottom number really mean? What does cholesterol mean? What does it look like in your veins, in your arteries? What does it look like in your arteries? And this is what they call cholesterol, and show them how it gets clogged. You get the arteries and the capillaries in the heart clogged. They're going to do either one thing. They're either going to burst or they're going to restrict, and blood won't be able to flow. So if blood is not flowing through your body, you're not getting proper oxygen, so that's going to affect your breathing, and your body is not getting the nutrients. So that affects your whole health. It's the same thing in your brain. So those things contribute to what? A heart attack, because your heart is going to stop.
Yes, that's what I was thinking about.
Because your heart is like, okay, I got to keep on pumping to get the blood through so I can feel the body, because the body is a machine that works together. Your body always wants to be in harmony, right? And so the same thing can happen in your brain. The arteries can get clogged, and they can burst, hemorrhage, right? Or they can be restricted. And so they're not getting enough oxygen. What do we call that? A stroke.
Okay, yeah. So this is making a lot of sense to me right now, because as we were talking about the heart, holistic, emotional health, action, relationship, and trauma. So if you take care of all of these things, you take care of your heart.
You take care of your heart. So I believe if you take care of your heart will take care of you.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so it's all those things. So it's not just exercise. It's just not stop smoking. It's not just watching your blood. All those things do contribute to the decrease of heart disease. But, I also noticed that throughout my life, you said, how did I get started on this journey? I've always worked around the heart. And so I just kind of married my medical and my coaching and my experience around that to create the program. And so when you think about the wonders of the heart, do you know that the heart, the arteries and the capillaries, if we were to take it and spread it out, 60,000 miles.
60,000 miles.
Guess what?
What?
That means that it can wrap around the earth more than 2 times.
Wow. What does that mean? Tell me more about that.
I'm just telling you the vastness of the heart, the power of the heart. Do you know that it is the one organ that if it was to be taken out of the body and be held in the hand, it would still beat, because it's also electrical. The heart is electrical. The heart is a muscle. The heart is an organ. The heart is the first organ to form in the body when you're born, and it is the last organ to stop.
Oh, wow.
So guess what? So, right? That's the breath of life.
Yeah.
Right? So if we're not, I can, as a respiratory therapist, I could help you to continue to breathe using a machine that will pump oxygen and other nutrients so that you can start breathing, right? But if your heart stops, then
nothing else. Wow.
Once it stops and we can't get it going, because we can do CPR to help stimulate it. But once the heart is exhausted and you get that flat line,
nothing else can be done.
Can't keep you breathing once your heart stops.
So what I was going to ask, they say heart attack is the number one cause of death.
Absolutely. Up to this day, from 40 years ago when I was teaching this, it's still the number one, not just in the United States, but globally. And it's all it's what we eat, what we breathe, how we manage our stress, our health, the emotions, the relationships, all of that contributes to how healthy the heart is.
Wow. So cultivating a good relationship can help you take care of your heart.
Well, they do have a saying that a man who is married lives longer.
Oh, okay.
Happily married lives longer.
Yeah, happily married.
Yeah.
That's good. This is powerful. So, wow.
So, it seems as though we've been all over the place, but it really is all about the heart.
No, actually, no, because at the end, the connection here is made where you start talking about the heart. And now all of the trauma, all of the relationship, the actions that you have to take, it connects to being healthy.
And happy.
Yeah. And taking care of your heart.
Yes, contributes to longer life.
But
it's the quality of life. And so my tagline is the heart impacts the quality of our health, how we love, and the way we live.
This is powerful. That's amazing. If you were to share something like, just say a last word with the audience, what would it be?
I would say just what I just said. The heart impacts the quality of our health, how we love, and the way we live. And if you take care of your heart and acknowledge your stresses and what you can do about it, have a better relationship with yourself so that you can have a better relationship with others, and so that you can acknowledge and break unhealthy family patterns, then you are definitely someone who can live a joy-filled life and be able to share that with others, because isn't that what life is about?
That's powerful. That's good. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. We have here today Dr. Sharon, the Heart Lady.
That's right.
All right. So thank you very much. Any last word you want to share?
You can also if you want to know how healthy your heart is, please go to Ask the Heart Lady for a free assessment.
Okay.
Or the Heart Lady, and that's THEE, not the, but THEE, Heart Lady. And if you want to contact me, you can go to the Heart Lady. If you want to have a consultation, you can just go to that same site, the Heart Lady.
Okay.
And let's chat for a free 15 minutes and see how we can support each other.
Excellent. Are you here in Atlanta?
I'm in the Atlanta area.
Okay.
I do Zoom or virtual. I shouldn't say the name, but I'll do virtual. I do virtual sessions. I prefer to do in person because there's so much more that we can do when we work. But hey, energy is energy. So wherever you are, if you want to be able to heal your heart holistically and find alternative ways on how to decrease your stress, decrease anxiety, and really just take care of your body holistically, then the Heart Lady is ready to help support you.
But before you close, like when you say heal your heart, some people, they are diagnosed with some type of heart problems.
Yes.
So is that what we're talking about?
So you can be diagnosed, but you'll learn how to relax the heart and how to maybe even there are different exercises to help stimulate a good rhythm, right? Because if you're already depending on the depth of your illness, some people may have high blood pressure and can reverse it. So that's taking care of the heart. So some people have had, like you said, surgery, but then let's learn how we can keep ourselves out of having surgery again by just learning more about the heart, learning more about your condition, and how you can have a lifestyle that complements a healthier heart so that you can live longer. I have a book that's called Unbreak Your Broken Heart, and it gives 7 lessons on how to heal once the relationship is over. And that relationship is just not necessarily intimate. It could be with a best friend. I have a lesson on best friend if there's someone just recently transition, died, and they need to be able to get over that type of grief. So 7 lessons, and in the book I give a story, I give the lessons, and true to what I do, I break it down. What can you do physically, emotionally, and spiritually?
That's
so
good.
I always stay true.
Where can people get the book?
And so if they want the book, they can always DM me at The Heart Lady on Instagram.
Okay.
Or email me, and you'll get all that information at The Heart Lady.
The Heart Lady. I was saying it wrong.
The THEE.
The THEE.
Yes.
Okay.
The one and only, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's good.
Thank you for asking.
Yes, because I was thinking that, we're talking about emotions, not really the physical part of the heart. Now, if someone has been to the doctor, they're diagnosed with some type of heart problems, they can still see you, right?
They can still see me as long as the doctor says it's okay. Yeah.
It's okay. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. There are ways. There is a symptom called it's called Tukosubo myocardiopathy, which is a Japanese term, which is people have actually died from a broken heart. Physically, they have had the same symptoms as someone who's had a heart attack. That's how deep the heart is. It stores your memories, it stores your trauma, but it can still be, if you say, for instance, there is a story where a mother and her young son were in a car accident. And the mother was put in the space right now, how it's divided by the curtain. So they were in the other gurney, and her son was dying, and they were doing CPR in that room, and she felt so bad that she started to have the same symptoms as someone was having a heart attack, and never had history of heart attack, of heart disease at all, and she ended up having.
It's a broken heart. Powerful. All right. That's good.
He said that before, but I think you're loving it, and I hope you are loving it too.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we could stay here the whole day.
I got stories for you.
That's good. So, see, Dr. Sharon, the Heart Lady. All right. So you've shared your on Instagram.
Yeah, just go to The Heart Lady, THEE Heart Lady.
On Instagram,
Facebook. Go to my website.
Okay.
www.theheartlady.com.
Theheartlady.com.
All right.
And if you don't want to type it in, we're going to have a link under the video. You can just click on the link and you can just go ahead and
schedule an appointment. There you go.
Yes, excellent. Well, The Heart Lady, thank you very much for being here on the show today. It was a great time. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching the video. Have a wonderful rest of the day.